Good morning. Welcome to a ride. Welcome. Go ahead and adjust your resistance so it's nice and light. Just adjusting the light here. That's better. So nice and light resistance. Just pedaling softly. Let's relax the upper body now. You're welcome to sit up nice and tall like I am. Just doing this to allow my upper body to relieve some stress. Neck and shoulders. See, I squeeze my hands a lot too. I do that to relieve stress. But my favorite part of sitting up like this is feeling my spine hold my weight. And meanwhile, the hips are helping to drive the pedal stroke, and we notice that the movement is from the hips down. When you're ready, you can return to your handlebars now. Let's take a minute or so to check with our shoulders, make sure they're away from the ears, not crunched up like this. Our elbows are bent ever so slightly, and our hands are just resting on the bars. We can let our belly relax. Just settling ourselves into the bike. And while we're pedaling nice and slowly and softly like this, we can tune into the body to notice if there's any parts that feel tense or sore. I'm noticing my lower back muscles above the hips on the outside. Those are feeling a little bit tight this morning, so this is helping. It's light, easy pedaling. Let's take our pedal speed up to around 90 RPM or so. Keeping the resistance nice and light. Apologies for checking my text there, but when I get a text during class, I just want to make sure it's not the person or persons in class. Alright, we're at light resistance 90 RPM right now. Our best thing to do is just to try to make these pedal strokes smooth. Even at this light resistance and this low level of work, we can tune into the muscles and feel them engaging in different parts of the pedal stroke. The quads, of course, are pushing down. Scraping through the bottom with the calves and the hamstrings, unweighting the pedal. Your hip flexor muscles right here. Unweighting the pedal. That is, using the hip flexor muscle to take the dead weight of the leg off of the pedal so that the opposite leg won't be working against. It's a relatively relatively advanced thought / technique. And we've demonstrated that before by pedaling without the feet attached to the pedals with a clip-in or toe strap. And it's a nice practice every now and then to pedal without any connection to the pedal, which should prove to you that we're not really pulling up on the pedal, because when you're not connected to it, you can't pull up on it. So it's a nice practice of using those hip flexors and weight just enough to take the dead weight off the pedals. It's a great practice. Try it every now and then. Let's bring our pedal speed up now into the mid-90s, keeping the resistance nice and light. And again, we're going to just work on smoothness here. This low level of work increases the blood flow to the muscles, and brings the heart rate up just a little bit. Helps the joints become more free. Let's bring our pedal speed up now to about 100 RPM. Still light resistance, no discomfort in the muscles at all. And at this high pedal speed, we want to do our best to keep our hips steady on the saddle, separating the upper body from the lower body, decoupling, as I say. Now let your legs slow down. Let's go through the sitting up tall, releasing the shoulders, letting the arms hang, feeling the belly as we breathe. You'll notice the heart rate's up a little bit right now. We'll pay attention to that throughout our ride today. See if you can bring your leg speed up to the rhythm of this song. It's going to be over 100 RPM. Keep the resistance nice and light. And let's just see how steady we can keep our upper body. We can keep the hips without bouncing. Maybe practice your champagne, holding the glass of champagne trick. Maybe pay attention to how light your hands are feeling on the bars. You can count the rhythm in your head. Let's slow our legs down again. Yeah, that got the breathing up a little bit. Good. I think we're warmed up. Feel like we have turned the pedals at light resistance. Slowly, moderate speed and fast speed. So it's time to get to work. handlebars again. On our next song, we're going to bring in some work now. It'll drive our heart rate up. It'll drive our breathing up, and we'll start to become sweaty. Line your legs with this rhythm right here. Maybe take a deep breath right now. Make sure your belly's relaxed. Let's reach down. Add resistance. It really feels like you are putting out power now. You absolutely feel the hips having to come into play now as you push over the top through the heel of your foot. Let's focus on that sensation right now. Now let's focus our minds on scraping the mud from the bottom of the pedal stroke, noticing the calves and hamstrings. What's happening with your breathing now? Mine's coming up for sure, I feel it. I'm just counting the rhythm in my head right now, just as a way to stay present. As you know, the mind tends to wander, so if I'm counting the rhythm or ideally at the same time tuning into my muscles, I can become more in the moment. Slightly change your pedal speed to match this song. For just a second, let's turn down the resistance to light while we stay at this rhythm. If you have a heart rate monitor on now, you can look at it. That should raise your heart rate by 20-30 beats. If you don't, just follow your breath. Put it on a scale of 1 to 10. Notice the changes in your breathing. That'll tell you the changes in your heart rate. We're still on the rhythm here. Let's go back to even heavier than we were. I can feel it. And again, this time, we'll start with focusing on the hips and the glutes. You can literally feel the glutes contract if you're pedaling properly. Stay here long, so this can be uncomfortable. All right, back to light resistance, mid-80s, soft pedaling. Good. What that do to your breathing? That should have accelerated your heart rate and breathing. I'm just on the verge of sweating now. Just hold your 80 RPM here for a moment and work on smoothing out your pedal stroke. I have enough resistance on right now that it feels like I'm in the working zone, but at a very low level. So I'm not going back to just complete active recovery or recovery level. This is now low level of work. And my heart rate has stopped slowing. And I feel the challenge in my muscles now. So let's just stay here. And if this doesn't feel like a challenge, add a little resistance. I'm imagining on a flat road with my friends riding. We can talk. We can tell stories to each other. The breath is slowly, slowly, slowly picking up. We're gonna stay right here. I can feel sweat forming now. I'm getting warm. This is perfect. Perfect. Now we're on a flat road. Let's practice our visualization. I want you to think of a road you know really well. And then we're gonna try and use all the senses to place ourselves onto that road. What the road feels like underneath our bike, through the frame of the bike. What we see all around us, what we smell, the types of trees. Maybe it's along the beach, maybe it's through the woods. Come to your handlebars, staying right with your 80 RPM. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes and visualize that road. Try to practice using your senses. Holding your pedal speed, let's shift gears to a harder gear. One that challenges us even more. Now we're at moderate to higher levels of effort now. I feel it in the muscles of my legs. As I hold the same pedal speed, the same RPM. I've chosen a harder gear. That harder gear turned at the same speed means my bike is going faster now. And so yeah, my breath is immediately picking up. Practicing your visualization, or you could do a body scan in your mind, moving from the shoulders down to the hands, moving down the spine to the hips. When I give you the signal, keeping the same gear, we're going to accelerate up to about 100 RPM, which will be a large increase in the workload. We'll only do it for a few seconds. Let me count you down into it. In 3, 2, 1, accelerate the legs to 100. Now reduce your resistance way down. And slow your legs. See what that did for you, your heart rate. I had to turn my music up. because we're into the season of the leaf blower. I'm sweating now. My breath is high. That was good. I love those flat road sections. If your sit bones are sore, you're welcome to stand up and stretch like this for a second, anytime you want. Notice your heart coming down from where it was, your heart rate. It's a beautiful thing to pay attention to. We're going to go even deeper now. We're fully warmed up. Good to go. Maybe grab a drink of water. So on a scale of perceived exertion, let's get ourselves into the 8 or 9 range in this song. So close to the maximum exertion. Not at it, but close to it. My legs have found the rhythm. One, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. All right, when you're ready, come down to your handlebars. Add resistance. You couldn't hold 5 minutes at this pace. Ask yourself, once you've added the resistance, could I do this now for 5 minutes? Check in with yourself. My answer would be, I don't think so right now. With all this power output from the muscles of my legs, I can really notice the hips and lower back engaged. And this is uncomfortable for sure. Good time to relax the belly so you can breathe deeply. Use it to pull that air in. And 3, and 2, and 1. Bring your resistance down. No hiding my out of breathness now. If you feel like it, you can just, with this really light resistance and sitting up tall, allow your legs to get on the rhythm, as we say all the time. Beautiful mind-body practice. It forces us to pay attention, activates all kinds of areas in the brain. We have to take in that rhythm, we have to process it, we have to then send out signals to the muscles. Meanwhile, we're monitoring all the time, making slight adjustments to stay on the rhythm. It's a beautiful mind-body practice. Come on down to your handlebars. When I give you a signal, We're going to go from this rhythm with really light resistance to this rhythm with extremely heavy resistance as we stand up out of the saddle. So heavy that we need to stand onto the pedals. In 3, 2, 1. Crank that resistance till you struggle, then stand into it. Now come back to light resistance, holding the rhythm the whole way. Stay right here. All right, let's sit up and swing the legs for a second. This rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's our rhythm. We're going to go to that. It's quite fast. And then we're going to add resistance. So it's going to be like a flat road where we got hard gear and we're holding the fast pedal speed. We won't be able to hold this very long. It'll be a short time to exhaustion type effort. Don't worry, we won't stay there a long time. But let's get ourselves ready for that. To the handlebars. Check your shoulders and arms and hands and spine. Bring your leg speed up. It's quite fast. Keep your resistance nice and light. When I give you the signal, we're going to add resistance. It feels like nearly a full-out effort. We'll hold it about 15 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Add that resistance in. In 3, 2, 1. Reduce your resistance. Slow your legs. What that do to your breathing and heart rate? When you have a microphone on your face, there's no hiding. You're out of breathness. But that's good. You can compare yours to mine. I'm back into my handlebars now. Very slow cadence right now with light resistance. This is less than 60, so it's really out of our range that we would normally pedal. When I give you the signal, we're going to add resistance, come up to 100 RPM, but less resistance than the last time. So it's not 8 or 9 on the perceived exertion scale, it'll be about 6 or 7. And 3. And 2. and 1. Come up to 100. Add the resistance. So I'm about there. Yeah, this feels to me 6 or 7. 7. Maybe 8. Thinking about it. Yes, it's too high for me. I'm going to take a little out. There. Perfect. Heart rate immediately coming up. I want us to hold this. We're going to get to the point where the legs will have a hard time holding this rhythm. Of about 100 RPM. And if you reach that point, beautiful. Reduce your resistance and slow your legs. Feel that edge where I'm going to lose this rhythm. It's coming closer. Slow your legs down. My breathing is 9 right now. Hard for me to say words. I think I had just the right amount of resistance. That was maybe 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. I don't think I could have held another 3 minutes. I was determined to stay there to the end of the song, though. I'm very sweaty now, you might be too. Allow your legs to find this rhythm again. Still, resistance is light. Allowing the heart rate to come down a bit. Noticing how the muscles are feeling in the legs. Hard effort there. There should be a shifting feeling in the muscles. We can get good at noticing how the muscles are feeling. Like an athlete, noticing how they feel today, how they respond to different types of efforts. We're going to stand up 20 seconds on this rhythm right here. I want you to think about transferring your weight as you stand through the glutes and hips into the top of the pedal stroke. That's why we stand. So that's the key part. Yes, your quads will be working for sure, but we want to think about transferring that weight in 3, 2, and 1. Add that extra heavy resistance in. Stay light with your hands. Beautiful. Come back down to light resistance. Middle 80s for your pedal stroke. Again, notice the feeling in the legs. Notice the heart rate, notice the breathing. Now I have a little resistance in right now because I want to keep the work on. You're welcome to do that with me, or you're welcome to have very light resistance. So it feels like active recovery. It's up to you, but I want to keep the pressure on ever so slightly on the legs right now. I like to link together these types of efforts. I've noticed my breathing has not continued to slow. So I've linked them together. beautiful. Maybe close your eyes and check your shoulders. Trace the vertebrae down from the base of the skull through the rest of the spine. Just moving with some intention along a flat road right now. I think at this very moment, my heart rate stopped slowing, stopped being stable, and is now climbing again. Yeah, for sure. That's what's happening. Stay right here. Sweat has not stopped, it's increasing a little bit. I'm just paying attention to the cues of my body. See where I'm at. Am I working? Am I not working? Yeah, muscles are getting a little fatigued right now. This is an effort I could hold a while. I know that. But it'd be work, yeah? If I did this for 20 minutes, I'd be pouring sweat. Just pouring sweat. Our last hard effort of the morning. When I give this signal, I'll count down from 3. We're going to add resistance and then accelerate over 100 for one full out 100% sprint. And remember, a sprint is an effort that you feel you couldn't hold 45 seconds or so. Couldn't do it. 100% effort. Apply everything you know. Settle into your saddle, relax your hands, your shoulders, your arms. We'll breathe intentionally throughout this short sprint. Don't hold your breath. In 3, and 2, and 1. Full sprint. And dial your resistance back down. Keep the legs turning. That made me a little lightheaded. I've taken my resistance down to super, super light, as light as I can get it. Just matching the rhythm of the song. Meanwhile, I'm noticing my breath slowing. Focusing on breathing from the belly. Let's let our legs slow below the rhythm of the song. Let's sit up together. Put our breath on a scale of 1 to 10 right now. Just notice where your breathing is. We want to get it all the way down. To 1 or 2. Legs are a little fatigued, I can tell. Alright, let's stand up together. 3 and 9 o'clock. If your breath is so high, go ahead and pedal softly for a little bit more. Until it comes down to 1 or 2 on that scale. When you're ready, join me in the 3 and 9 o'clock position with the heels dropped. Rotate your back foot to the front. Swing a leg over the bike. Let's pull back on an ankle and feel a stretch in the quad. To the other leg. I was thinking the other day about when all these bikes came in from the studio, 25 of them, and I built every one of them by myself. It came in a big box, parts. I did it one at a time. I was trying to calculate how long each one took. Let's stretch our hamstrings. I think each one probably took 30 minutes or so. Unboxing, putting together, and taking the box and all the wrapping stuff out to the front. Grab the next one. They're in stacks, like 8 high. That was a good 2 to 3 days of work, long days. Let's go to the other leg. My forearms were destroyed from tightening those 4 screws on the base on the front and the base on the back. Then I had to assemble the seats. Those have another screw underneath, and I had to assemble the handlebars, put these racks on. Those have a couple more screws. Well, wonderful ride. We are finished. Take your time, drink some water. Keep breathing deeply from your belly, and I'll see you next time. I'll leave the music on for a couple minutes.